But before we go down this process and start this, I want you to understand how I work for you. So let me start with this very simple question. Do you know how I get paid? And believe it or not, 50% of the people don't really understand how we as agents get paid. They just assume that it happens at closing. It's like, oh yeah, well, it comes out of our stuff and everything. I'm like, well, yeah, kind of. So I explain a little bit about how it works. And then I launch into my process, which is explaining I get paid there, but how I earn that is by educating, advocating, referring, and negotiating on your behalf. So education, right? Most buyers going to buy 3 to 5 properties in their lifetime. I'm doing 3 to 5 a month. I see more properties than you. I do more properties and transactions than you're going to do in your lifetime. That's just the way it goes. So I'm going to tell you what happens, how it works, what the process is. Ask me questions. Never be afraid to ask questions, because if you don't ask a question, I can't give you an answer. And I don't want you to feel like I'm not communicating with you or sharing information. Advocate. Advocate is really tough for agents to understand and learn, but I think of it this way. I'm always going to tell you every option, and then I'm going to tell you the pros and cons of every option. So most people probably in your neck of the woods, are inspections, still a hot topic item? Is anybody doing negotiations during the inspection process?
Not a lot today.
Yeah, it's usually life and safety, right? Like if it would come up on an appraisal, that's the thing we can negotiate for. So the example with one couple I'm working with right now is great. You have a $1,000 item to-do list. So let's talk about what that means. You can, either ask for those things to come off. You can, to come off the purchase price, you can ask for a credit at the end, or you can just accept them and we can move on. Here's the pros and cons of each of those. The con is that you can ask for that and they may drop our offer. They may go with somebody else because another person isn't going to ask them for $1,000. And in this market, $1,000 is real money and they don't have to give it up. So they might not. So that's now your choice. And so I always present it in that way of, here's the thing that's going to happen. Let's talk about the pros of what could happen. Let's talk about the cons of what could happen. But you guys need to make the choice. And the reason you need to make the choice is because I'm advocating for you, not because it's my house, but it's because it's your house. And you have to live with the decision after this is done. I get to go on. I get to go on and do other stuff. We're going to go do other transactions together. But you have to live with the consequences of making this decision. So I want you to be as informed as possible, which leads me to referrals. If I don't know the answer to a question, I don't know how to do that. I'm not a roofer. I'm not an HVAC guy. I know enough to be dangerous, but you definitely shouldn't trust me on a bid on what it takes to do things. So I'm going to give you the names of 3 people. I want you to go ask each of those 3 people 3 questions. Why should we do business with you? What makes you stand out from your competition? And can you give us a referral to somebody who's used you in the past? If they ask those 3 questions of those people, they then can make an informed choice about who they should use. And it's not just oh yeah, go call Mike, he's great. It's now them making the decision, because the last thing I want to have happen as I'm building these long-term relationships that are turning into long-term commitments and investors is for them to feel like, Michael told us to call this guy. It didn't work out. Michael's unreliable. No. Michael gave you 3 options. If you don't like the 3 options, let's go get 3 more. But I never want you to pick the first person you have an interaction with. I want you to be informed about what's going on so you make the good choice. Because again, I don't have to live with it.